This man loves only money and builds his business on deception and cunning. But one day, offended clients decide to take revenge on him, and you can't even imagine what a terrible punishment they've come up with for him. This man's name is Yossi, and he loves money very much. With the help of cunning and deception, he buys several boxes of medical devices at a very low price. After that, Yossi photographs them and puts them up for sale on the internet at twice the price. He successfully sells all these devices and is very pleased with himself. Yossi has a main job. He works at a garment factory and maintains one of the conveyors. One day, his boss Takimoto calls him and offers our hero a promotion. Yossi can become a senior manager, but he doesn't need it, so he refuses the new position. The man lies to the boss that he is too weak and inexperienced for this job. In fact, Yossi is going to expand his business by reselling various goods because it brings him a lot more money than his main job. Yossi returns home and sees that his girlfriend Akika is sleeping on the bed. He studies video game sales ratings. Akika wakes up and Yossi invites her to dinner. He wants Akika to move in with him, but the girl refuses because Yossi's apartment is too small. Akika dreams that her boyfriend will become very rich. Then she can quit her job and buy whatever she wants. Yossi is chatting with his friend Muraoka. He learns that his classmate Gotha has been arrested for ticket speculation at one of the popular concerts. Yossi understands that his business can also be considered fraudulent, but he is willing to take risks for a lot of money. The next day, Yossi comes to his boss Takimoto and informs him that he is quitting his job. The man thinks it's a very stupid thing to do, and Yossi will be back soon. Our hero tells Akika that he will run his own business. His friend Muraoka wants to open a large online auction on the internet, but Yossi replies that he doesn't have the startup capital to start his own business. Yossi introduces Muraoka to his girlfriend and says he is going to marry her. Akika is very pleased to hear about this. Yossi tells his girlfriend that they will be moving to a new house soon. It is located in the suburbs, near the lake, and is much more spacious than their old apartment. In the middle of the night, someone knocks on Yossi's apartment. The man is very anxious. He freezes in fear and does not open the door. Yossi is moving to a new house. He uses it as an office and warehouse. Akika is very happy that they will now live together as a bride and groom. A guy named Sana helps deliver a lot of boxes to this house. Yossi looks at the young loader with interest. It seems that this is not a very smart guy, but he is responsible and diligent. Yossi hires him to work as an assistant. Akika looks at Sana with great interest. Yossi uses the nickname Meta Ave to hide his identity. He shows San an orange women's bag. Yossi says he used to buy these bags for 10,000 yen, and now he's selling them for 100,000 yen. The man admits that he doesn't even know if it's a fake or an original. Yossi can't sleep at night. He goes down to the kitchen to drink water, looks at his computer monitor and notices that they only bought a few bags from him, and he hoped to sell them all. Suddenly, Yossi feels an incomprehensible fear again. Someone breaks the window of their house. Akika wakes up and screams in fear. Yossi tries to catch up with the criminal, but he drives away in his car. The man returns and locks the door with all the locks. Akika cries and asks her boyfriend to return to Tokyo, but Yossi is not ready to give up his business. In the afternoon, a man goes to the police. The local policemen are sure that it was a hoax. Perhaps some teenagers decided to make fun of their new neighbors. While Yossi is writing a statement, the police say that they don't like dealers here. They are sure that our hero is selling illegal goods. Back at home, Yossi asks San to pack all the bags urgently. He puts the old price of 10,000 yen on them in order to sell them as soon as possible. After all, this is not an original, but a fake. Soon he drops the price even lower. Sana notices this and is very surprised. Yossi asks Sana for cars. He wants to personally take all the bags to Tokyo. There the man leaves them at the warehouse of the delivery service. Our hero accidentally meets Muraoka on the street. Yossi doesn't want to give his friend his new address and phone number. He doesn't need friends. Yossi returns home and finds out that Sana has caught the bully who broke their window. It turns out that it really was a local teenager who decided that Yossi was a rich entrepreneur from the capital. Our hero sells sewing machines. He goes to Tokyo, withdraws a large amount from his bank card, and buys a whole collection of figurines of a famous pop singer for 1,000,000 yen. The other customers go berserk, and Kiko talks to Sana. The girl tries to flirt with him, but the guy doesn't pay any attention to her, and Kiko gathers her things. She says she's bored of living in this house and is moving back to Tokyo. Sana visits one of the internet forums and finds out that Yoshi has a lot of enemies. However, this is not strange. Yoshi deceives sellers and buyers, sells fake items and behaves very brazenly. Offended clients want to find him and punish him. Yoshi brings home a collection of figurines that he bought in Tokyo. He finds out that Kiko has left him, but he is sure that the girl will return to him soon. Now he is much more interested in business than in family. Yoshi notices that Sana was sitting at his computer. The guy says he wants to become more useful and offers him new ideas for development. Upon hearing about this, Yoshi immediately fires his assistant. At parting, Sana warns her boss that dissatisfied customers will soon find him and take revenge on him. Yoshi beats up the man who sold him fake bags and demands to pay him a large compensation. The beaten-up salesman returns home and finds an online forum with other disgruntled suppliers and customers. All the honey badger haters gathered there. The bag seller meets with another offended supplier. They will find out the real name of the honey badger and his address. Yoshi photographs his collectible figurines and puts them up for sale at a price of 200,000 yen. Soon he sells one of them. Suddenly, the man hears strange noises and realizes that someone is near his house. Yoshi locks all the doors and ties the door handles with wire. A masked man appears behind one of the doors. There's someone in the house too. This is his former boss Takimoto. He has a rifle in his hands. Yoshi tries to escape, but cannot open the door. He's trying to persuade his boss not to do anything stupid. A masked man enters the house. Soon there is some noise. Is this another unhappy customer? But no, it's just a coffee machine. Seizing the moment, Yoshi runs away from home. He runs towards the woods, but there he is chased by other disgruntled customers. Several shots are fired. Yoshi hides in a small ravine and then continues running through the forest. Our hero finds an old house in the middle of the forest and hides inside. His pursuers use an axe to break in. When they do, the local head of the Hunters Guild appears on the road. Takimoto uses his rifle. They don't need any extra witnesses. Offended customers carry the hunter to the car, while Yoshi escapes again. He heads towards his house and accidentally meets Yoshi, enters the house and sees that everything is scattered and broken there. However, some of the goods have survived, and the man wants to take him away from here urgently. Yoshi understands that he should not call the police, because he could also go to jail. Together with Akiko, they plan to save the most valuable things and escape. As Yoshi drags a large blue suitcase to the car, Muraoka approaches him with a pistol. A former comrade says that Yoshi is obliged to pay for all his sins. A few seconds later, a car pulls up with Takimoto, a masked man, and another angry supplier. They grab Yoshi and kidnap him, while Akiko watches from the window of their house. Sana meets with a man on a subway platform and receives a paper bag and mobile phone tracking devices from him. He gets in the car and drives to the house of his former boss. Meanwhile, the kidnappers tie up Yoshi and take him to some abandoned warehouse. They want to broadcast his execution live. To make it as spectacular and painful as possible, dissatisfied customers decide to use fire. Muraoka offers to save his former comrade for 100 million yen. Yoshi doesn't agree. Maybe he just doesn't have the money. Muraoka then demands Yoshi bow to him and apologize. Our hero doesn't do that. Sana visits Yoshi and sees the mayhem in his house. He tracks his phone's GPS location and opens that paper bag. There are weapons there. Akiko secretly appears in an abandoned warehouse. It turns out that she went unnoticed after the kidnappers of her fiancé. The girl promises to save him. Offended customers and suppliers are preparing to execute Yoshi. Suddenly, Sana appears in the warehouse. He gets rid of the first kidnapper. Other people hear several gunshots and start to panic. They demand that the man in the mask take it off. Hiding under it is the same Suma seller who was previously knocked down by Yoshi. People decide to check the warehouse again and find their friend near the entrance. So, their enemy is hiding somewhere, and he also has a weapon. These people don't know yet that Sana is much more experienced than they are. He deals with another kidnapper and saves Yoshi. Our hero does not understand why his former assistant decided to save him. Instead of answering, Sana gives him one of her pistols. A dangerous shootout begins. One of the kidnappers has a rifle. There are a lot of shots being fired. Sana wounds another disgruntled customer. The man loads his rifle to take revenge. Yoshi notices this and saves his assistant. Sana takes someone's rifle, so there were only a few kidnappers left. Among them is the seller of fake bags and Takimoto. The bag seller tries to escape, but no one lets him do it. One of the last kidnappers, Takimoto, is the most experienced and dangerous. He has a double-barreled rifle. Yoshi has to use all his bullets. Takimoto comes closer, but is wounded by Sana, and then furious Yoshi gets to him. However, it turns out that there is still one more enemy in the warehouse. This is Muraoka. He takes San hostage and demands Yoshi to drop his weapon. Instead, Sana knocks the gun out of his hand, and Yoshi pulls the trigger. Now there are definitely no dissatisfied customers and suppliers left. Sana calls her friends and asks them to clean up the warehouse. Yoshi checks his website and says he has sold all the collectible figurines. He earned about 10 million yen. Yoshi notices Akiko. The man comes up to her to hug her. The girl holds a gun behind her back. She wants to get rid of her boyfriend and take his credit cards. But Akiko doesn't know how to use a gun and doesn't know that the safety needs to be turned off first. A shot rings out. It's Sana who saves her boss again. Yoshi is crying bitterly next to his beloved. Soon, they, along with Sana, leave this city. Sana advises Yoshi to continue his illegal business. He promises to be his faithful assistant and get for him even something that can destroy the whole world.